right? So this is my whiteboard, and we want to talk about types of data in programming in general, in computer science, in computers in general. We have different types of data. Okay, we have numbers, of course, numbers like currency, $50, like number of students in a classroom, like how many votes the president got in the elections, and so on. These are numbers, and these are the most common type of data and the easiest to use. Honestly, it's the easiest to use, and we have zillions of functions to cover numbers. The other data type that is common in Excel and computer science is text, or sometimes called string. I will use both of them in this course. Okay, and these are text, right? Like your first name, last name, country, position, course name, and so on. Okay, so a text is some characters that represent an entity, like a name, a country, a city, and so on. In Excel, text always, not always, always except in one case that we will talk about later on, are included in double quotations. So every text should be in double quotations, right? Other types include date, right? We'll use date maybe not next week, the week after. And we have the data type that is not usually used in day-to-day in daily life, but it is very common in programming and in Excel, which is logical data. Logical data in programming and in computer science has two values only. So it's the simplest type of data. It's either true or false. True or false, okay? So logical data are either true or false. This is it, okay? On or off, yes or no, okay? So in Excel, it takes one of two values, true or false, right? Excel has a family of functions built on logical data, a family of functions that manage logical data, okay? We will talk about two types of these functions. We'll talk about functions like and, or functions, okay? And we will talk about the if function, okay? So what is the difference between and, or functions and if functions? Whenever I talk about functions in this course, I'm going to talk about different aspects of the function. First, when to use the function, when to use and, or, and when to use the if function, okay? And then we will talk about how to use them, okay? So when, or the situations where to use the functions, and how to use them in these situations, okay? I'm going to start with the simple ones, which is the and, or, and then we will dig deeper and look at the if function, okay? So what is an and, or function? When I say that, if you are, okay, when I say that if you are a female and you get an A grade in this course, you are going to get a 5% bonus, okay? When I say that female and A grade, that means that I am looking for the two conditions at the same time, okay? So this is when I use and. So the and function is used to check if several conditions hold at the same time, okay? Like for example, female and grade A, okay? So both of these conditions, I'm checking for both of them at the same time. The or function check if any of the condition is true. Okay, so if I have multiple conditions and I want to check if any of them is true, any of them or all of them, okay, any or more is true, then the or function will give me true. Okay, when do we use this function? We use this function when we want to identify records with some features. I will show you an example to clarify these things for you. Okay, so the keyword to use and or function is when we are trying to identify something. We are not trying to make a decision. we are trying to identify a record. Okay, so let me show you an example on and or, and then we'll move on to the next part. All right. Let me try again. Week one examples. Okay. All right. So look at. I'll give you guys 2 minutes. I want you to open an empty Excel file and just start writing this data in the file. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes in order for you to open a file and start entering these values, the values at the top, the values in this table up till column G. Okay, try to open a file and enter this information. I'll give you a couple of minutes and then we'll continue. Yes, yes, Luz.
I can't see that data you're talking about.
I'm not sharing my, okay, sorry. Yes, I haven't shared my screen after the whiteboard. Give me 1 second. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, thank you.
So open a file because I want you to work with me on this so you understand how to write these functions in Excel. So I want you to just write these 6 rows of data. Okay, I'll give you 1 more minute. Is anyone still typing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's give you 1 more minute and then we'll start working. All right. All right. So let's start. So the first question you can see here says which students are females and younger than 20 years. Okay. So what am I trying to do here? What am I asking about? What I'm trying to do simply is to identify those students who are females and younger than 20 years. Okay. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just identifying them. Okay. In this case, we use the logical functions of and or. Okay. If you look at the question, you need to read it carefully. I'm saying females and younger than 20. So which logical functions are we going to use? The and, right? Because the question is asking about an and. So equal, all function starts with an equal, and then and then we start entering the conditions we are looking for. Okay. So the first condition is that we are looking for females. So female is a gender. So I will click C2 equals F, and F goes in double quotations because it's text. Okay, comma. And then the second condition, which is age less than 20. And then we close the parenthesis. Okay. So if I am ending multiple conditions together, I can end two conditions, three conditions, whatever I want. I enter each condition and separate the conditions with commas. Okay, so C2 equals female, comma, D2 less than 20, and I can add several things after that. Okay, so you can see that the first one is false because this is a male age 40, so false. And then if you drag this down, the only true one is number 4, Tina, female, 19, because this is the only female less than 20 years old. Okay. Any questions for Dan, guys? Any questions? Any issues? Okay. The second one is which students are either less than 20 or, you can see the or shining right here, greater than 30 or greater than 50. Okay. So we have here three conditions ordered together. Okay. So again, all I'm doing is identifying these students. So how do I do this? I use an or function, equal or, and then all of them applies to the age. So I will click age less than 20, comma, the age cell greater than 30, comma, the age cell greater than 50. Okay, so they are ordered together as you can see here. Or, and then the first condition, comma, the second condition, and then the third condition. All right. Now, what is the most common error that I see here when you are using logical functions? And pay attention, please. The most common error that I see in logical functions is, in English, when we are speaking English, we write, if I ask you to do two things at the same time, it goes like this. Age, which is, we write it like this, equal age. Okay. Age, sorry, gender is equal to female, and age is less than 20. Okay, we are used to put the end between the conditions. This is not how it works in Excel. In Excel, the function, if I do this, I will get an error. Okay. Right. So in Excel, you write the function name. You write the function name first, and then the conditions after that. Okay. So this is something small, but I often see people confused about that. So make sure you understand this perfectly.